wanted to come on here because tomorrow is July 23rd. It's the 2nd anniversary death date of Al. And you know, since Al's passing, untimely passing, like we'll try to think of things to do to honor him. The initial agreement was to go downtown and protest and, you know, silent march and demonstrate, you know. And it was times where it was too overwhelming for our mother. And, you know, so what we did do things, and we did go down there last year. But, you know, it's like when it get close to this date, it's an emotion, you know, it's an overwhelming, unbelievable emotion. And I was thinking back on how when his funeral, and they gave people 2 minutes to talk about him. And I tried to say as much as I could in 2 minutes, but you can't talk about Al in 2 minutes. So, you know, I'm like, what can we do tomorrow? You know, what can we do? What are we going to do? But I was like, man, what can I do today? What can I do today? I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. I don't know what we gonna do tomorrow. And I just want to, you know, in my heart, like I want everybody to know this man was remarkable, you know. You know, even like when my father passed away, every time his anniversary of his death come, I get angry. You know, I try to isolate myself. And it's very overwhelming, but I honor my father every day, you know. I honor him every day. I pay homage to him every day. I look at his photos every day. And it's just something about Al's death. It's so super, super sad, unfortunate. You know, it didn't have to happen. This man was incredible. You know, even my father was incredible, still is incredible to me, because I believe when our loved ones transition, I know that's my belief, that they transition to something greater and higher, and I believe that they transition to a better place, and that's my belief. But I also believe that Al, he wants justice, you know. He was a remarkable man. I just want people to know that, like, we lose loved ones. Everybody losing somebody at some point in time, and somebody means something to somebody. And Al meant a lot. Just a remarkable man. And he shouldn't be gone, you know? When July 23rd comes and that time comes, you know, it's like we wishing that the day did not come, that time doesn't come, you know. And at 1:59, I try to be silent, because at 1:59 p.m. he checked out, you know. And you know, Al, we would be on the phone for hours. And like, he was talking to me about my father. You know, he was very therapeutic to me. He told me I was therapeutic to him. You know, just a remarkable individual. And his death should not be in vain. I wish that he could get a national recognition. You know, I wish that a lot of these homicides that be solved within hours and days, and they have the perpetrator. I wish that would happen for Al. I remember a few months ago, Al's mother called me and told me there was a car accident on 60th and Hampton, and she thought it was the guy that killed Al, because even though he's the trigger man, he was set up in a whole different way, you know. But I remember racing down there, and I felt chills, you know, and it was a feeling of, wow, Al, this is for you. And I remember hopping out the car and talking to the police. Is this Paris T? Do you all have Paris T in custody? And they shook their head no. And I'm asking people that was standing there, is it a guy with locks? You know, and I'm describing, and everybody like, yeah. And I will go back to the police. Are you all sure? Is this not Paris T? This man killed somebody we love. And they was like, no. I was like, the person you all have in custody, they're in custody for outstanding a homicide. They was like, yeah, but it wasn't him, you know. And I had to tell his mother it wasn't him. But then I felt very relieved and thankful that they really got somebody else's loved one in custody, perpetrator in custody, you know. I just really hope that one day we could get justice for Al like that. You know, he was a remarkable man, you know. And I loved him, and I still love him. And you know how me and Al, it's just like, you know, I regret a lot. Like, I really wish that I would have held on to him, and I wish that, you know, a lot of things didn't happen that happened, but you know, he was looking for me. And one of the most beautiful stories was how he had his mother looking all over the city for me, and he couldn't find me. He ended up getting in a situation that just destroyed his life, basically. But we reconnected, and I always remained his friend, in spite of the circumstances. And till that man died, like, he wanted to get back with me, you know. And like, we can't turn back the hands of time. Cause man, just imagine if you can get a second back, a minute, an hour. The things we would do with that time. But I just hope that, like, one day his perpetrators will be brought to justice. And I just hope that if anybody has an ounce of care or concern, you know, I hope that tomorrow, July 23rd, 2025, at 1:59 p.m., that everybody can have a moment of silence for Al Shack. He transitioned. You know, keep his mother in your prayers, his loved ones, his children. You know, Al has children that's struggling. You know, he has children that are doing okay, you know. But of course they lost their father. But he has some children that are struggling, and they shouldn't be. You know, and that's a whole different story. But just, you know, just keep him in your prayers, you know. He was a great father. He didn't have his children struggling. Like, he tried hard. He was fighting for custody of his children. Just a lot of things. And I know they hurting. I know his mother hurt. I know his sister hurt. And keep her in your prayers. You know, that's his only. And he has an older sister as well, but his younger sister, you know, that's her only brother. You know? I just wanted to like take the time out and just, you know, say some things about Al Shack. A remarkable man. Oh my goodness. I'm at a loss for words because, you know, like, when this time comes, it's hard to believe this man is gone, you know? It's not even this time. It's just like, period. And I still take my father's death hard. But like I said, I honor him every day. I speak to his spirit. I try to speak to Al's spirit, you know? And the difference is that it's a lot of difference. But I hope and pray that he's transitioned to a better place, that he's okay, that he will get justice, you know, that he's found peace, that he's free from animosity, hostility, and pain. You know, I hope that he's enjoying his heavenly family, you know, a family that one day I hope that I'll be able to join, you know. I hope that my works are great on this earth, that I can one day join my loved ones, you know, and be free from animosity, hostility, and pain, and, you know, at peace. And but the loss of Al Shack is a big, huge loss, you know. And I just really hope that the community not just me, not just Al's mother, not just Al's children, not just Al's sister, the community wants answers and justice, as well as Lucas Kilpatrick, as well as Kayla, you know, Calderon. You know, we just got a lot of loved ones we've lost, you know, and they mean something to us. They mean something to everybody who's hurting about them, you know. And I just wanted to take the time out today and ask that at 1:59 tomorrow p.m. that if you can, take a moment of silence for Al Shack.